Hi there. So we're now into the beginning of July. Everything's really starting to pick up. We're starting to harvest some things, and it's fast approaching show season, which is quite a daunting task because we haven't had very many hot sunny days. We've had a lot of rain. I think it's rained for the last 40 days, so it's rained for at least once for the last 40 days. So pretty poor weather. It's been quite overcast, so not very growing weather this year. I don't think. But having said that, things are still moving. Maybe it's not as quickly as I'd like them to, but they're doing okay. So the tomatoes, they're up to about 5 foot high now. These are the Shirley variety and Gold Star, so they're show varieties. I've also got Gardener's Delight in the back there and a couple of cherry tomato varieties there. But the show variety, Shirley, actually this is Gold Star, sorry, it's getting tomatoes on. And what I've done there is I've chopped the bottom leaves off just to reveal the tomatoes. Just up to the first truss, chop the leaves off, and it'll hopefully help the fruit out a bit. So the tomatoes are doing okay. Could do with some more sun, maybe. Onto the giant variety. So I've got some Peter Glazebrook strain, which is grown for true giant, and also over the back here I've got Gigantamo. I have noticed that some of the tips are starting to get the first truss on, so hopefully I think Harrogate for the show is around the 9 to 12 weeks mark away, so hopefully they should land at about the right time. The timing looks okay on them, so happy with them so far. And with the air pot, they seem to be growing really strong, so air pots seems like the way forward, so hopefully try a few more of them next year. I've got 2 Gigantamos in a DWC bubbler system. They're doing okay. First attempt this year was just a trial year, just to test the water and see what I could get out of them. I've had an issue where the solar controller, which controls my solar panel, decided to die, so I was without power for 24 hours, which is probably a disaster when it comes to hydroponics, because you're relying on the air pump to pump oxygen around the roots. So maybe it's a bit of a check in growth, but tomatoes are pretty strong plants, so hopefully they'll come back fine. But they seem to be doing okay. They're not so bad. They're a bit yellow, maybe it's deficient in something, but we'll see. First time having a try of a hydroponic setup, so we'll see what happens with them. Giant cucumbers, they're putting on about 6 inches a day now. I'm feeding the tomatoes and the cucumbers 3 times a week with I did start with a nitrogen feed, but now I'm on to just a tomato right, just a general balanced feed. Tomato right, which is a high potash feed. Some chilies. I'm not a big chili grower, but they seem to be doing okay. Nice big leaves on them. I've got some very hots, some hots and some bell peppers, so doing okay. These are just 3 spares which I've put in an air pot, and they seem to be do better in the 3 litre pot than the ones in the bigger pot. Obviously they've filled the roots and they've benefited from the air pruning. So I'm gonna stick them into a larger pot and see what happens in comparison to potting up them ones earlier and leaving them ones in a smaller pot. So we'll see what happens. This was the trial I was doing with the product called Eco Thrive Biosis, which is an instant compost tea. The one on the left here is the one that I've used Biosis. You can see it's got a lovely even growth on it. And this is the one without. On the sides here, it just seems like it's not growing so well. So conclusion of that, Biosis is a winner, I would say. It seems like a good product, so I'll be trying that across the board with a lot of other different things throughout the year and into next year. So that's it in the greenhouse. I have pulled the tomatoes out. Sorry, not tomatoes. The tough pork onions. Not sure quality, but good eaters. So go out the greenhouse. As you can see, I've constructed the top for the framework for the dahlia covers. That'll be going on in 4 weeks' time. As soon as the dahlias start show colour on the buds, I'll be putting the covers on. So that's the dahlias there. What I have done with the dahlias, I'll explain in a separate video, is just debranched some of them. Basically, just I was saying at the start of the year, you need to go 6 up, 7 up. Just removing branches to grow the optimum number of branches up. So that's the dahlias there. Into the onion tunnel. I'm pleased with them so far. Not as far on as I'd like them to be, but there's no world records going to be broken out in this trench, or any of the onions in here. So, but I'm progressing from last year, which is the main thing. Just keep moving forward in the right direction, just gaining size. So happy with them. Happy with them in comparison to last year. So this one here, it's sitting at about 20 inches around, same as that one there. They're doing pretty well. Going to the one in the airport, he's sitting at 21 inches around, so they're doing okay. Happy with them so far. And the Dave Metcalf quality onions, every time I seem to look at them, they seem to have grown in size. Lovely shape. Try and get a better view of them. So look at the shape of them, they're beautiful. Not as big as what I'd like them to be, but they'll probably do okay in a local show. So I'll be lifting these in around 4 weeks time, which is 5 or 6 weeks before the show. They'll sit in a dark room, maybe with a fan on, just circulating the air, and keep checking them every couple of days. But when I lift them, I'll show you what they're like, and I'll show you how I do that close at a time. Common cucumbers, doing okay, taking over nicely. So onion tunnel seems doing pretty well again this year, so fingers crossed for a better one next year. Going to the leeks. I have had some issues. This trench along the left here, it's got some Betty Blacks in, and I don't know if you can see, but the leaf joints, which is the button, is stepping up quite quickly. So if I slug in here by the looks of it, stepping up quite quick. So I'm not very hopeful of keeping them under the 6 inches to the button. So basically, when you're benching them, you need this from the base to up here to be 6 inches or less, otherwise it's classed as not as schedule, which is a disqualification. So it went too long, but the Betty Blacks don't seem to be doing so well, but I have got quite a few in. So the Cumbrian leek here, the virus is going out of it now, so I'm happy with them so far. They're sitting at about between 10.5 and 11 inches around, so taking over nicely. So I have got some more Betty Blacks in this trench, and I don't know if it's something I've done with the 2 different trenches, but the ones in this trench seem to be going really nicely, not stepping up too quick. So I'll have to get some soil samples done and check the soil. Yorkshire Giants, really vigorous growth. I think these are actually sitting at 16 inches around now, which is very good for the time of year. But the thing with them, you don't want to push them along, force them on. You just want to keep them steadily ticking over, and hopefully keep them going till September. So that's the leeks. I'm happy with them so far. They're still nice and clean, no insect damage. The fan at the top there seems to be helping, so happy with them so far. Still plenty of time for a disaster. Suckers coming up and seed heads or whatever, so touch wood, nothing yet. Take you up to the top. I went to a National Vegetable Society talk with Gareth Hofkrop, talking about hydroponics, and I won it marrow plant in the raffle, so I thought I've got a little bit spare space in the garden, so I'll just stick it in and see what happens. But it doesn't really seem to be moving very well, so maybe I'll have a better go at it next year. So, but we'll see what happens with it. Gladioli doing well, still no spikes coming up, which is a good sign because I don't want them coming too early. But yeah, they seem to be doing alright. Some lovely show varieties in there. First lettuce, probably two weeks or so's time. My wife will only eat iceberg lettuce, so that's all I plant in the garden now, but it seems to be doing alright. No slug damage or anything. In beetroot at the back there, which is Pablo, nice variety. Carrots, I'm really happy with the carrots. They're doing the same as last year. I'll try and get in there and give you a look. So I'll just have a bit of a rake around, and as you can see, the tops of the carrots there seem to be doing really well. They're not leggy. The tops are about 12 inches high, so they're grown outside, not under cover, so they're not stretching up too fast. So we'll see what happens with them. I'm hoping to get some international at Harrogate this year. I've got about 180 to 200 in there, so plenty to go at. We'll see. Long carrots, they seem to be picking up as well, so happy with everything so far. I've got a few more dahlias in there. As I say, they're about 18 inches high now, so ticking over nicely. Just normal corn and courgettes grown outside. I've got 3 plants in here, and all of them are fruiting very well, so can't really complain. Courgettes outside, there's a bit of mildew on there, but seems okay, not causing too much of a problem. Brassicas doing well, no caterpillar damage or anything, so happy with them so far. And the potatoes at the back there just going mad again. Really high tops this year. The tubs are off the floor about 2 foot, and the tops of the plants are at about 5 foot high, so really high tops. So hopefully the bottoms are just as big. And last of all, I've got a couple of marrow plants in there. Hopefully they'll do for sure, and the onions ready to start lifting in a couple of weeks. So not much to really show you, but I haven't really done a lot the last couple of weeks, so but everything's still growing pretty strong. Thanks for watching. So a couple of people have asked about the root system when grown in an air pot. So this one here is a tomato plant, and it should have filled up the air pot, so I can show you exactly what the root system looks like when you grow in an air pot. Basically, the air pot prunes the roots. Now, as you can see there, it looks really good. It's a good example of the air pot. So that's it there. As you can see, all these little side roots are growing out of the hole, dying. Well, not dying, sorry, it's pruned by the air, and what it does, it produces nice hairy side roots. So growing in an air pot, I would say 10 out of 10. You can't really complain. Nice healthy root system. The thing about when you go to a garden centre or something, you only really see the top half of the plant. Well, you don't see what's below the pot, because it's hidden behind it. And basically, when you grow in a normal pot, you wouldn't buy a plant that had an unhealthy top. So why would you buy a plant with an unhealthy root system? Well, when you grow in an air pot, you get a very healthy root system. Where you grow in a normal pot, you're just creating a deformity. So an air pot, it's the way forward, I think. Very strong, healthy root system. It matches the top part of the plant, basically. So nice healthy roots equal top quality plant.